Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we're here to hopefully brighten your day up a little bit. I don't know what he's looking for at this point, but
I'm looking for our sponsor, Caribou.
I don't have my cup out here today. But Caribou Coffee,
It's in the can.
thanks to Caribou Coffee for supporting us and being a generous donator to our program.
Before we get started, we were talking a little bit about Gary's sweatshirt. It's made from coffee grounds.
Recycled coffee grounds.
So if he ever runs out of coffee, all he's got to do is eat his shirt.
I don't know if it's caffeinated
smell
or
it.
decaffeinated.
Yeah,
So maybe that's why I'm so wired up lately. It's probably caffeinated. But yeah.
Hopefully that's all it is.
No, there's no drugs involved. Put it that way.
I didn't say anything.
I know, but you like to
I
insinuate.
know the
a
way
lot
your
of
mind
things.
thinks. So 7 years.
7.
I got the itch.
Yeah. Time to separate. But hey, it's good to be back. Ron.
We didn't go anywhere. He's the one that went to
Ron's the
Myrtle
one
Beach.
that went to Myrtle Beach. So we were lucky he was able to come back on Thursday and get us on the air on Friday, because I know just how much everybody would have missed us.
Hey, number 1 show, and where is it? Are we? Oh yeah, Hibbing.
Yeah, Guardian Angels Health and Rehabilitation Center.
Worldwide.
Oh, we're worldwide.
Our second sponsor.
Yeah, there's some poor kid out over in India going, "Oh, don't, 2 bald guys are on again."
Oh man,
Let's talk cricket.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a calling for talking cricket. But the next best thing, as long as the segue is, we'll talk about section baseball.
All right.
Hibbing lost to North Branch in 8 innings the other night, Tuesday night. Knocked them into the elimination bracket, and so they got to host the game Thursday night or
Nice.
last night against Cloquet. And Luke Nelson is only a sophomore, but he went out and pitched, I think, a 7-hitter. Hibbing won 5-2 to stay alive in the tournament. So they go back to Grand Rapids now tomorrow to take on Chisago Lakes in an elimination game. So, hey, it was a nice performance last night from a sophomore.
Right. It's a nice format too. It's you're not one and done. You get an opportunity to play at least 2 games, which you never know what happens.
The general consensus is that Grand Rapids is going to walk away with it because they have 2 of the better arms in the area. So, where he gets them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Probably from their feeder program.
well, yeah, I mean that must be one heck of a program, but that's but they're good in baseball over there every year, So they'll probably, I wouldn't doubt if they contend for a state title.
Well, if you look at the past and the different teams that I had an opportunity to coach here in Hibbing, every time we went to Rapids, they were the team to beat. And their program, their little league, all the way up through their high school program, seems like everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and there's round 1. I'm ready to go.
Cookies are done.
And the cookies are done. So I think it's just a combination of good feeder program, good athletes, and must be good coaching. So
Well, but then I hear the stories from our 7th and 8th, one of our 7th and 8th grade coaches about them beating Grand Rapids 30-0.
oh really?
And they come back and they say they want to play again, but the coach said, well, that doesn't do us any good and it doesn't do them any good to beat them. But then they say they don't play they have a traveling team
Yeah.
of 7th and 8th graders. So I don't know. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, I think, at times to think about that. If you have a traveling, and maybe you have same thing in hockey, I suppose.
Well, they did. When we used to play there earlier, they did have 2 teams, and usually they had the stacked team, and they had the good, and then they had the other kids. And usually, when it came tournament time, where'd those kids come from?
Yeah, after you beat it. No, and that's a true story. He did say, I can't remember if it was this year or if it was last year when they did that, and they wanted to schedule another game, and he just said, that doesn't do us any good to beat them. It doesn't do them any good.
Right.
So I don't know. But they come up with the players, and it's unfortunate that sometimes we don't. But
Yep. Well, good luck to them. Hope they can beat. When is it tonight they play?
no, Saturday at
Saturday?
12:30 they play. Well, the other night against North Branch, though, they did. They fell behind like early. Then they scored 4 runs, tied it, went ahead 4-3. North Branch tied it, and then North Branch scored 3 runs in like the 5th or 6th inning to go ahead, and then Logan Gietzen hit a 3-run homer in the 7th inning, I believe, to tie the game. And then they obviously gave up the run in the bottom
Right.
of the 8th inning. But it was funny because last year's playoffs, both the games they lost were both in extra innings, so that was 3
Extra inning games.
extra
Wow.
inning games in a row in the playoffs that they had gotten beat by higher seeds.
Right.
So they're competitive when they want to be competitive.
Well, again, that.
And last night was a good example of that.
Yeah, well, high school baseball basically comes down to pitching and your strength up the middle. So we'll see how well they do.
Yeah, so good luck tomorrow. I'll probably be heading over there to cover that game, so I hope they can advance in.
Are you riding your bike?
No,
Oh. I
I'll
just
probably
thought
drive.
I figure with gas prices, you probably. Ride your bike.
Yeah, I told Ron yesterday I put a 13-hour day in.
Really?
Covered the Chisholm baseball game here at 10, then went down to Cloquet for the Section 7A finals in softball. Cherry was playing Moose Lake Little River. And then, of course, Cherry only had to win a game, but they got beat in the first game. So second game didn't
stick around
start
for
till
the
5
second
o'clock. So then I had to stay there for that. And then when I drove home, I went to Bennett Park to
Yeah.
finish out the covering that game. So
You're kind of lucky you didn't have to cover the Big Ten baseball tournament. I was watching some of the games on TV. They're playing at 2, 3 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I suppose why they do that, I don't know.
Speaking of softball, girls softball,
They how am I gonna remember this?
we got third, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But who did they lost to? I believe they lost to. They lost to North Branch in the first round 2-0, which dropped them into the elimination round, and they ended up playing Cloquet, a team that beat them 11-1 here back in early May or in May, and which was kind of I even hate to get into it, but that coach for Cloquet was.
That's we like your controversy.
Well,
so get into it.
He took a 30-minute infield before the start of that game, which should have been curtailed at 10 minutes.
All right.
And then that, I think, threw our pitcher off, a pitcher that plays with this guy in the summertime.
Oh,
So it's like, I hope they don't go back there and play again. I know they want to get the competition, but and we talked about it after the game, and then so the one matchup they wanted to get was Cloquet, so they got Cloquet again, and they ended up beating Cloquet, I believe, 4-2. So they got some revenge there on
good.
Cloquet, which set them up against North Branch again to get back into the.
Championship round.
I'm trying to think here because it'll come to me, but they beat North Branch 2-1 after losing 2-0, so they got back into the elimination game semifinal.
Yep.
So one game away from the championship game, and they played Hermantown and lost 4-3.
Okay.
So that the same spot where they ended up last year was where they ended up this year. But nice job by Katie Vesladal and with the softball girls this
Yep.
year.
Good.
I know it hurts to lose, but you know what? You gave it your best shot, and you almost got back there.
Well, again, it's been a tough season for softball, baseball, anything that had to do with outside. So, I mean, yesterday it was snow and white stuff. I don't know what that was, but
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know. Well, the golf, I think, was on Thursday out at Giants Ridge. I wonder if it was like that out there,
Yeah.
because you'd think with all the woods they have out there that it had to be pretty bad. But Hibbing did get 4 guys back the second day. They got 2 girls back for the second day. I don't believe anybody advanced. At least I haven't heard
Okay.
it. But congratulations to those guys for advancing to the second day. Tennis has 2 guys going to state, the doubles team of Drew Anderson and Cooper Hendrickson, so they'll be there next week. So that's, and then track, Melina Sladek took second in the 3,200 at the prelims on Wednesday, but that was a final event for that one, so she's going to state in that. And Hibbing they have some. The finals are Saturday in North Branch, and they'll hopefully the girls will get a few more down there. We'll see. The boys, James is hoping.
How'd our pole vaulter do?
Oh, she hasn't done that. Final is on Saturday.
Okay.
But she's also the #1 seed in the 100.
Oh, good.
So she'll probably, I would assume, which we know what assume does if you.
Yeah, makes a arse out of you and me.
But she'll hopefully win 2 events. I can't see her losing in the pole vault for sure. But so good luck to them. The boys, the last time they had a boy at state was Joey Fenstermacher back in like 2015. So he's hoping that can happen sometime with somebody tomorrow. Pole vaulters there. They thought Ethan Roy or Austin Pierce might make it, but they ended up, I think, 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
But they had another kid, Austin Valento, did his best, jumped 11, vaulted 11, over 11 or at least 11 feet. So he placed above those 2. So they have, so that was a surprise.
Can you imagine trying to pole vault against the wind?
Oh.
Get up there and get pushed back.
Push back. But then you look, and what irritates me about track is the winner of I think the Class A meet yesterday, Section 7, went 8 feet.
Oh, yeah?
That's it.
You could do that.
No, I couldn't do that. No. Don't even say that, because I couldn't. But it's just like, there's no standards.
No.
At least you should be able to clear. Now, I'm not sure if that was the boys or the girls. I mean, I think it was the boys, but I'm not positive.
8 feet.
Yeah, I can look here.
I think their poles are longer than that, aren't they?
Yeah, I think some of the poles do go up there, but are a little bit higher than that. But I can look right here and find out. I hate to take time up, but.
Well, you should have been more prepared.
Yeah. Okay, no, I was wrong. Okay, boys, it was 13-6.
Okay, see?
Crosby Ironton was 13, and then the second place guy was 13. Let me look at the girls.
Where'd you get that 8 from?
I don't know.
Is this where we play the music?
Yeah, crickets. That's where we have crickets.
No, that's over in India. That young man watching us over in India. Where's the cricket scores?
I know, I hate to, again, here it is, girls pole vault. Yeah, 8-6
All the girls.
for the girls.
Yeah.
And Julia's she's up over 12.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think they should have some standards there, but they want kids to participate, and and this gives them a shot at state.
Yeah, well, everybody gets a participation pin.
Whether we agree or not, or
That's
like
right.
it or not, yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that pretty much I think covers.
High school
Yeah,
graduation's coming up.
graduation
So all
tonight.
the sports are starting to wind down for the summer, and hopefully, well, I shouldn't say for the summer because we haven't had a summer yet.
Yeah, no, if it's June 3rd?
June 3rd.
Feels like November.
Yeah, and you go up to some of the lakes, and it's pretty bad
I know.
with all the water. But last year we didn't have enough water. This year we got more than enough. So
Yeah, let's send it out to California. Maybe we can make some money on it. But I don't. They wouldn't build a pipeline from here to out there for water.
wasn't there one time a story about what they're going to just send? Superior was going to send ice, right? Water from Lake Superior to somewhere, Arizona or somewhere.
No, it's there.
Huh? Yeah, but just can you imagine trying to ship water in a truck to Arizona? You got the water was probably more expensive than the gas by the time you get it there. So, anyways,
But now to the one sports team we do have playing,
The Twins?
Yeah, or are they playing? Do we consider that playing when you lose 4 or 5 to Detroit?
Nope.
That's
They're in a
not.
slump.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any better with Toronto coming up and
And
New
New
York
York.
and Tampa Bay.
Especially again, and I know if we're were you done with high school?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand watching the Twins. I mean, yes, they played a doubleheader. They won the first game 8-2. They're playing the second game, and I'm going, who are these guys? They got guys, from St. Paul playing. What happened to the guys that are supposed to be playing? They got a rest because they're playing a doubleheader.
Well, they're resting, or they have COVID, or they're hurt. I mean, the injury thing is starting to really. I mean, maybe there's something to having a full spring training because, or we're probably not the only team that's seeing the injuries, but
they're supposed to be professional athletes. They're supposed to be prepared. They're supposed to be in shape. They're supposed to get their $400 million contracts. And then all of a sudden you start playing your games and I hurt my finger. Or, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. See, we're questioning their manhood maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's how does.
How do you play a game 20 years ago, 30 years ago? How many times did you ever hear, being that we're old enough to know, that Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, who was a shortstop for Baltimore? Cal Ripken. How many times did you hear about them? Oh, I broke a nail, so I'm not playing today.
Well, and Ripken played in like 2,500 straight games or something. Maybe our producer can look that up and see just how many. But you can't tell me he wasn't.
He's still on Myrtle Beach time.
Dinged up a little bit when he went out to play once in a while.
Oh, I know he did. He
Yeah.
still went out to play because he loved to play the game.
Yeah, and the part that Royce Lewis, everybody wanted him up.
Yep. And then he hurt.
Goes out in the center field and he runs into the fence, which is fine. I mean, with his shoulder.
Yep.
He's got a bone bruise in his knee.
Yeah.
He didn't even hit his knee.
Well, apparently he had some problems with that knee.
Well, yeah, that's the knee that he had surgically
Yeah.
repaired last year, but
Yeah.
he didn't run into the wall with his knee. He
No.
ran into it with his back and his shoulder, but he's got a bone bruise on his knee.
And why is he running into the wall? What is it, Buxton's theory of baseball?
Well,
Running into the wall?
I don't know. He made a nice catch. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but it was like,
Oh, stop the presses.
2,632.
Wow.
2,632 games.
Straight.
Yeah. And you can't tell me, like we just talked about, you can't tell me that he wasn't dinged up a little
Oh,
bit
sure he
during
was.
some of that streak.
And I'm sure there was a time maybe he kind of went, hey, I don't want to play today. Especially, doubleheaders back then were not 7 innings like they were
No.
last year. They were 9 innings. But I don't know what I as much as, people think Rocky Balboa does a good job, when it comes to their pitching, I don't think he knows what he's doing half the time.
No, because they had a 2-1. They had a 2-1 lead yesterday in the 8th inning, and he put Emilio Pagan in again, and
Yep.
Emilio should be gone.
Yeah. Because the ball was gone.
Gone. And it's, I don't know. And so you lose to the Tigers 4-3 or 4-3-2. No, then they in the paper it's like, well, now we're playing like we're supposed to be playing. No, you're playing like
You're
you.
playing down to your competition.
Yeah.
Is what you're doing.
Well, the Tigers are saying they're up.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to be this bad, but yeah, you are that bad.
Yeah. Well, now they're only, 5 games over 500? When a week ago they were 10?
They were 10. They're probably down to 7 or 6 or 7 games right now over 500. And it's just how they can't hit.
Yeah. We'll have to get outside and get on the bandwagon again. With over there, now that he's back from Myrtle Beach, he'll be, leading the bandwagon over there.
Well, that's all right. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to certainly be the two of us.
No.
But yeah, I don't know what if they're so frustrating. Just beat the teams. You had 15 games against the Tigers and the Royals.
Yep.
You could have made some ground, and instead you lost ground.
And you gave an opportunity for those two teams to get back into it.
Yeah, not that they will, but the Tigers are so far. They were over 10, 11 games
Yep.
out. Now there might be
8 games out.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's hit the ball.
Frustrating. It's typical Minnesota professional sports.
Yeah, it's
The Wild were going to do so well. What
Yeah.
happened to them?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I want to segue a little bit into it. Have you watched any of the NHL playoffs?
no.
You're missing a really good show.
Well, I know I'm missing a show with Edmonton and
Yeah.
Colorado.
Well, even New York now. But they're
Yeah,
injured.
I don't know. I don't know how they're so good, to be honest with you. I really don't. But they come and play.
Yep.
They put their skates on, skate for 60 minutes, and do it, which is something the Wild didn't do.
No. And I watched, I watched. There's that Irish in me coming out. I watched.
It worked.
I viewed that Colorado Edmonton game the other night, and talk about fast-paced, wide-open hockey. It's unbelievable. Both teams, but Colorado, man, they're stacked. They got-
Well, and then it was 4-0 last night,
Yeah.
and so they finally found a way to slow down Sidney Crosby and Draisaitl, whatever his first name is. I don't know.
Crosby, didn't he play for Pittsburgh?
Oh, I mean McDavid. Sorry, I was a
Oh.
faux pas there. I guess, yeah. I apologize to Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
for
they
that
said
one.
McDavid and the other big shot for Edmonton only had 4 shots on goal or something. So.
And not one scoring chance I heard in the
Yeah.
third period.
Well, they were doing the caprice on him. Every time he got a hold of the puck, there's 2 guys banging him and kicking him.
Well,
So
that's what you have to do to guys that are good goal scorers. So, but we also here's where we get.
are we getting political now?
Well, we can go into the my column I wrote last weekend
Yes.
about Hibbing getting into the 21st century as far as sports facilities go in this town, which is something we need. Gary Conda yesterday. I was selling tickets at the baseball game, and he looked over at that barren site over there where the MAC used to be, and
Or were they going to try to put a?
he was just sad because he had no indoor tennis courts. So we need, of course, it's easy for me to spend somebody else's money,
Right.
because I don't have the money to do it. But we talked about it. We need an indoor track in this town, 400-meter indoor track with all the field facilities that you shot put, discus, long jump pits, triple jump pits, and pole vault. High jump that kind of automatically comes right at the end of the
Right.
track there. So that's something we need. Not the 60-meter track like at Bemidji State. No. We need to go all out for these kids. I'm all for the kids, that's the thing.
When you think about it, one of the problems that we have in this community is we don't have facilities for the youth to play. Adequate facilities, I guess is the way to look at it. And then you wonder why. I remember when I first moved up here, I think the population in Hibbing was over 20,000, and now we're down to, 13?
Mm-hmm.
And is it because there's not that and people are leaving? On this show, we used to talk about kids that are leaving to go to Hermantown and kids that are leaving to go to Rapids. And why is that? Are the opportunities better? Are the facilities better? Probably.
I don't think Hermantown's hockey facilities are any better than anywhere else. They don't. They have that one small rink,
Yeah.
and that's it. But they sure develop players.
Yes, they do.
So,
And again, it comes down to you start a program and you can continually year after year be successful. You don't have to win everything, but just be successful and be competitive. You're gonna keep those kids, and I think that's part of what our problem is. We don't have that. And every second or third year, you get a class that comes through that has 5 or 6 good athletes, and that carries your sports program. But
yeah, but that should be a
Consistent.
The goal would be consistent. Yeah,
Correct.
there you hit it right on the nail on the head. Should be consistent in every class.
right,
So, but yeah, the tennis courts. We need indoor tennis courts, 6, 7, 8 of them.
so we need a multi-purpose facility.
Yeah, we
is what you're
really.
saying.
Yeah,
Yep.
you could put if you had a facility like that, you look at just Cheever Field, on the field, the football field itself, you could put how many tennis courts inside that foot.
Yep.
No, not that I want them to do that now. I don't want them to do that at Cheever Field, but
Right.
you could put 6 or 7 courts just inside that. So if you had a 400-meter track in a facility, inside the track, you could have your tennis courts.
Right.
So it's like thinking. I mean, I'm not the smartest bird bulb in in the planet, but it's like it's just thinking it out and saying, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But it's too easy to say it. It's harder to get it done.
Yeah, it is. And one of these days, your LED bulb will go off, and you'll be good for another 10 years. And
No, that's when I'll be 6 feet under. When my LED goes out.
well, you keep writing those scathing articles, and someone's going to get after you.
Well, and I said I'm not getting political because I have no idea whether or not they should purchase the properties on the west side of the Memorial Building. I don't know how feasible that is or not. But the baseball fields need to be turfed, and there needs to be a second one. City of Hibbing, there needs to be a second one, and turf Al Nyberg, and let's get into the 21st century and host some of this stuff that we keep missing out on.
Well, the other problem with that too, I know we don't have a lot of time left, is you look at Nyberg Field, that's city owned, so the city needs it's something the school can't really. It's something the city needs to look at, and to be honest with you, when they came up with the drawings for the new football field, not the new football field, but turfing the existing field in the new track, there was talk about putting a baseball field out in that area. Now, they took the fill from the big hill and filled in some of that area, so eventually down the road, maybe that's something that can be done. But then again, it's a financial thing where you're going to come up with the money to do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I get it. I mean, like I say,
you don't want to financially strap your school district or the city where Virginia built a very nice arena over there, and now they're behind.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know, I get it. That's why it's not easy to spend money, someone else's money. But I haven't seen the college baseball team or the college softball teams play a home game in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Now you can't tell me that they couldn't go together to put a baseball field up out there for both the college and the high school.
Where though?
What do you mean where?
Where would they build it?
Well, where we're supposed to build it out by the football field.
Oh, okay.
Was that not?
If they build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Okay.
So am I off base or?
No, you're right on. You're right on.
All right.
No.
So I don't know. But you got to get games here, and we lost games on Tuesday because the field was wet.
Yeah, and they had to go to Aurora, you said?
To play,
Yeah.
which is again a nice facility. Don't get me wrong. I saw it last week. Very nice facility.
Yeah. Well, that's something
That's
that
what we need.
we'll take a little investigative reporting. We'll look into it, see what the numbers are, and then next time we do a show, we'll have some numbers for you.
Yeah, don't count on that.
Yeah. Hey, I was just trying to
know.
generate some audience participation here.
That's true. Maybe if we ever go live, we can get phone calls and somebody can set us straight on why we can't do it.
The girls over at Golden Crest are going, hey, come on, guys.
Yeah. But hey, we've run out of time. We hope you enjoyed the show. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again next week.
Maybe.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.